Hello and welcome into the Sporting Pod. Along with Tony Allegretti, I'm Cole Pepper. Emerson Burris is jet-setting around this great country.
Yes.
Coming up today on the pod, of course, the World Cup, what the second week has shown us. Some new info on stadium plans and new faces joining the women's team. We are fed by the Bearded Pig, locally owned and operated with the original location in San Marco. Make sure you swing by the Bearded Pig for great barbecue and great times. A delayed, by the way, I was at the Bearded Pig earlier this week.
Yes.
Love a lunch meeting at the Bearded Pig.
Yes.
And the place was just hopping.
I know. Sometimes parking gets packed there.
So
yeah,
apparently,
yeah.
so there was a group that this is not apropos of anything.
Right.
There was a group of, I don't know if they must have been,
Which was the alternative name for our podcast.
right,
Yes.
apropos of nothing.
Yes.
I pull up in there and I can't find a parking place.
Yeah.
And there are like 30 white Silverado pickups in there.
Nice.
And I was like, what's going on? Like, yeah, this group just rolled in.
Yeah.
And they all were, it must have been work trucks or something.
FDOT or something.
They were unmarked, but they were all white Silverados. And I'm like, I guess we know where the fleet got the purchase there.
Mm-hmm.
But able to find a table and had pulled pork sandwich and burn ends and a lovely time.
That's living right there.
Oh, it's great. All right.
We need to go there.
We do.
It's been too long for me.
Yeah. It's a pretty frequent stop for me, I must say.
Yeah.
Not too far from
No, it's on your way home.
historic Pepper Manor.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get into the World Cup.
When you said 2 weeks, man, like it seems a lot longer than that.
And it is a little longer than that, I suppose. But the first two rounds are done. We're recording this on Thursday morning in the Gemstone Media Studios. And so the U.S. will play tonight at 10 p.m. as we view this or as we record this. But I just want to get your best moment since our last podcast.
Yeah. So, man, it's not the best moment, but I think it could be the worst moment is that the non-call penalty Ghana England.
Oh, okay.
It really kind of brought home that this thing isn't perfect because almost everything has been.
Yeah.
You know, just the fans, the attitudes, the camaraderie, the intermingling of supporters and all that. And then for them to completely rob Ghana on that, was really poor. And I just think that's the most significant moment for me so far.
All right. My moment is Country Roads.
Oh, God, yeah.
After the U.S. beat Australia in Seattle. And the reason I say this is manyfold. One, that's a song that was a big favorite of mine as a kid.
It's a banger.
It's a banger.
Did you have like a 7-inch of it or any like?
No, but I'll tell you when I was exposed to it.
Okay.
And this is I'm really peeling back the curtain here. I went to like summer Bible camp or like a day camp, and there was a guy. I was probably 7 years old, 6, 7 years old. There was a guy who played guitar, as are with most youth church things, and he would mostly we would playing little hymns or different things, but he would change it up, and the first day, I think it was like a 3 or 4 day camp. The first day he plays Country Roads.
Yeah,
I was immediately hooked.
Yeah,
and so every time he pulled out his guitar, I would say, "You gonna play Country Roads?"
Yeah,
and so
that's one of those jams. Yeah,
it is, and I have since. Introduce it to my daughter, who knows every word.
Right. Oh, perfect.
And
so post match.
So post match, she was in the other room, and my wife and I are watching the game, and I called to my daughter, say, "Come in here, look what's going on." And she's enamored of the fact that Steve Fell is there, our friend Steve Fell from Sporting Jack's head of performance, and I said, and that was her little hook. She's not quite captured by the competition yet. Again, she's 6.
Yeah.
But she comes in and immediately starts singing it.
Yeah.
And
what a moment.
Talking to Steve, that was his moment. He was like this.
I got goosebumps just talking about it in here.
Well, and here's the thing. One of the criticisms of the United States soccer culture
Right.
is that our
definitely the songs.
the chants and songs aren't any good.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that this World Cup has shown us is that we don't have to call it football. We understand that you can call it football or refer to somebody as a football or whatever, but you can also call it soccer. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
There are plenty of other places in the world that call it soccer. And it doesn't. We don't have to mimic England or
That's right.
Spain or Brazil or Argentina.
I'm always impressed when Warburton calls it soccer.
Yes.
Like that, like he's making an effort.
Yeah.
Like I love that. He doesn't have to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's also football.
If you call it football with an English accent, we know what you're talking about.
Right.
But the point is, this is the United States.
Yeah.
We can forge our own identity. It doesn't have to be. And I think for a lot of years, and I'm probably guilty of this in some regard as well, we look to England in particular as common language, and to find, well, how should we refer to this? How should we talk
they had
about
a 400-year head start on us. Like,
yes,
it makes sense.
Maybe not
bigger brother.
Maybe not that much longer with soccer, but
sure.
but a big head start,
right?
And it's such a big part of the culture. But what I witnessed in Seattle, watching what happened with Country Roads being sung after the game, is that we have a lot of songs that are uniquely American songs. John Denver, one of the great singer-songwriters from this country. And that speaks to part of the essence of what this country is all about. And that can be as much of a soccer song as anything. That's perfectly fine as well. Like that is, we don't have to go in a different direction and try to make everything sound like an English pub song. And I think maybe we will look back on this moment in 10 or 15 years and say, all right, well, this is why these songs became a thing. You'll Never Walk Alone is not a soccer song in particular. It became adopted as that because of,
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't be. But yeah, or any other songs that come up.
And the best ones that really resonate are like songs, right? So sometimes you change up the lyrics, etc. But you've got for the blues. It's a song called "Spirit of the Blues" that they did in the '80s, and when you hear Everton in full voice, that's typically it. There's some other ones, but it's what we got to do, and it's and when everybody has the words and knows the cadence and all that. And speaking of cadence, I have to shout out, this might be something we should sing before the match, but there's a band called Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Oh, I know them, yes.
Oh, yeah. So they do it. They do a country road. And so like that one's like maybe not at the end, maybe at the beginning.
Got a little more pep to it.
Yeah, got a little pep in your step.
Yeah.
So
love Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
And then I have one more tangent that's really useless to this conversation is when I was in camp, in horse camp in Picayune, Mississippi.
As you would.
Yeah. And it must have been 84 or whenever the Rush Tom Sawyer album came out.
Okay.
Like
Moving Pictures.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like
that's
so
a banger, but
of course
that's Canadian.
When you're talking about exactly. And they're moving on. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw out. I completely, when you were talking about Country Road and the guy playing, I totally remember them singing Tom Sawyer.
New drummer for Rush, Annika, who you should check her out.
Yeah. Did Neil Peart pass?
He did a couple years ago,
right.
And they stopped touring as a result. But we won't get too deep into it.
Yeah.
But yes,
get your tickets today.
Yes,
to Rush.
All right. Player of the group stage thus far for you?
Just of anybody?
Anybody.
Ooh, man. Okay. Golly, these are so hard. It's hard not to give it to Messi, although he's probably one of the top ones that I've seen the least. Like for whatever reason,
he's been tremendous.
Yeah,
I might lean to Holland because of what he's got around him.
Right.
His
goals haven't been bangers though. They've been all right, but
a lot of them are sort of
situational.
Holland. Yes, and.
Not against that,
and it's his first World Cup, so to see him do that, Mbappe's been terrific as well.
The Cape Verde keeper, like dude, that guy's insane.
Yes, He there have been a lot of great moments. There'll be more to come. Tonight, again, as we record this, the U.S. will face Turkey, and there are a lot of questions about how this should be approached. Christian Pulisic coming off the injury. sounded like he was fit to play.
Yeah.
Maybe not 90 minutes, but Pochettino kind of danced around the subject a little bit. How would you approach this? The U.S. is already through. They've already won the stage. They're almost certainly going to play Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32. How would you approach this?
I would ask Warbert because I'd be weird about it. Like, so I would probably rest. Maybe like if you wanted to get him some minutes, maybe at the end if it's not wild and rough and sometimes these World Cup games get chippy.
And Turkey can be a little chippy
too.
They've got an edge.
They're physical.
Yeah.
So I would probably rest everyone on a yellow. Anyone that's got kind of a nick, unless they're recovering. Like that's kind of the thing too. Like he's had such a good rest. You might want to get a few minutes out of him, out of Pulisic, but I don't know, man. I would probably be team rest on this one.
Yeah, I would tend toward that too, because one of the things that gives you the opportunity to do is play some guys who you might need at some point down the line. And again, I've used this analogy on radio, and I'll do it here too. Dean Smith, the great North Carolina basketball coach, once said, if you want somebody to perform in the second half, you need to play them in the first.
Yeah.
So similar theory
quote.
here.
Okay.
Get them some time, and whether that's Max Arfson or Christian Roldan or whomever, get some play, and maybe even Matt Turner, Scally, whoever, get them a little, give them some run, even if it's not 90, even if you just give them 60 or 70 minutes. And then you can bring anybody else in you need to along the way as well.
Yeah, and it's we don't need to win it. There's no real incentive at all.
No.
There's like in the post war World Cups, there's only been like 2 or maybe 3 teams that have won every match to go on and win it. Like it's very rare.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, like
Argentina lost their opener 4 years ago.
Yeah, Saudi.
Yeah,
like crazy. Yeah.
So all right, well, we'll see how it all plays out there. We do want to let you know that there are some watch parties around where Sporting Jacks will have some folks out. Lemon Bar. Thursday night, 10 p.m. Yep, that's a 21 and up situation, obviously. I honestly, if this is 10 p.m., if it's not 21 and up, what are you doing up that late out and running the streets?
Yes.
But
on a summer school night,
summer school night, we'll be at Miller's Ale House on Hodges, and V Pizza in San Marco, and of course the Island Wing Company. All those locations, Southside, Bartram Market, and Tamaya, as the World Cup rolls on this evening and moving ahead as well.
Are you watching the Pepper Mansion?
I will be.
Yeah, my son's coming
10
in
p.m.
town, so
10 p.m. start for me at this point in my life with kids. It's because if I go out to watch it, my wife, who's a huge soccer fan, she played soccer all growing up all the way up, and if there were more opportunities for women, probably would have tried to play pro back in her day. And
jeez, I didn't know she was like that.
Yeah. She
that's like my sister. My sister did Division I, like just there was nothing after.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the school that my wife attended didn't have a soccer team, so she played club soccer at that point, and intramural, and it just she would have loved it. However,
I was on the 1989 FSU intramural champs. I was also on the club team.
Good,
good little plug for myself.
Let's
big up myself.
Thank you.
Yes.
So the point is that if I were to go out to watch, my wife would certainly want to go out and watch with me, we got to get a sitter, and it's a whole thing. So.
So one I'm thinking about potentially, like if I were to go out, and this is a total long shot because Nico's coming in town and we may not, but I'm curious to the Decca. I've never been to Decca, and that's where the Outlaws are tonight.
Oh, okay.
So thought about hitting that one maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, give us a report if you do. All right. We do want to let you know as well that the Women's season ticket deposits are available right now. You can reserve your tickets for the sprint season in the Gainbird Super League. Just a $50 deposit with that money going toward your total balance. The season starts in August, and the finals are scheduled for December 12th. It's a race to the finish, and you can be a part of it. Call 904-863-KICK or visit sportingjacks.com to place your deposit now. Okay. Stadium news.
Really?
Sports and Entertainment District news. This week, the club put out a map of what the stadium development is going to be all about. I'm sure you've seen this, Tony. Have you not?
Yeah, ask the map.
You've seen it. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. This is, 360 acres or something like that of the whole bit. 215 of it right now, green space.
Yeah.
And no proposed development whatsoever. A lot of people have been having questions about what is this going to look like. If you will picture in your mind's eye, I'll try to describe this as best I can as a play-by-play guy, the rectangle longer on the top and bottom than it is on the sides. Yeah. In the lower right corner, it's what is known as District D, and this goes up to the area. It's on the south side of whatever that's whatever
St. John's Bluff.
Might be St. John's Bluff. Whatever the road is that cuts across. If you come out of UNF, go underneath the overpass
that's
and continue. St. John's Bluff. So there's a small section there that is maybe an eighth of the entire area. That is District D, which is for entertainment, hospitality, and healthcare. Will be located there. Go across that street to the north, and a sliver that is just to the west of 295 and to the east of St. John's Bluff, or if that is the street, is community retail. Yes. So there'll be some retail there. Across that street to the west,
locals only community retail. I'm just joking.
I don't think you need to show your papers to get in. Yeah. But multifamily and student housing will be a part of this as well. That's on the northern end of the just a little bit to the west of the northeast corner. Residents,
family housing.
Yep, exactly. And then the stadium, hotel, retail, and residential area in District A, which will be basically across the street from that District D we talked about. So it's sort of central south and extending north and to the east a bit over towards St. John's Bluff. And then District E, which is in the northwest corner, which is residential. So I know there were some concerns about noise and sound and traffic and so forth from residents in that area or those who were concerned what that might look like. The residential is going to be, northeast and northwest in this. I don't think there's going to be any issue with noise and sound and light.
Well, there's a lot of acreage in between. Yeah,
a lot of acreage in between. Again, talking about 215 acres of no proposed development. So this is an exciting next little piece of the puzzle as the development continues to head down the road. The expectation now is for this to be completed over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and it's subject to really rigorous environmental, noise, traffic, all these things that we're working through with the agencies and the consultants that help us and the engineers that need to do it. The really great thing is that it doesn't interrupt any neighborhood streets.
Right.
It doesn't you don't have to go through a neighborhood. You don't have to. It doesn't. It's really, there is some abutting, parts of it. So that I think it's E with the residential in the northwest corner. That will have I'm sure there'll be some buffers between the neighborhoods up there, but it'll just be residential. They won't that traffic won't touch the neighborhoods. So hopefully, it's done really well, and everybody that has had heartburn with it sees their comparables when they want to sell their house, or they,
Yeah.
their property values go up. That's what should happen. There's always been, the plan has always tried to tie it really as close, especially the commercial parts, to the main drags. There's literally curb cuts, that go into the woods that we now control. But, so there was definitely plans, and definitely the idea that this was going to be, there's a light now with 2 turn lanes that go into the woods. Like you can't honestly, with a straight face, act surprised that we were going to develop, or someone was going to develop that. But really looking forward to it. I am on the sort of community outreach team in terms of talking with the neighborhoods, and we hope to. I hope this sort of new tranche of information is helpful, and everybody can come on board.
All right, we want to remind you that the Sporting Jacks report comes to you just about every weekend. If you are listening to this before Sunday at noon, you can tune in Sunday at noon on NBC 12. Next week we are off. We are off from this podcast next week. We are off from the TV show. We are off from the radio show because yours truly is going to take a vacation for the first time in over a year. So that will be happening.
And you refuse to let us do it without you.
Well, yes, that is true. Largely so. But during regular programming,
fair,
I mean, if Tony, if you'd like to write up the
editing it, I'm not editing. I'm not doing nothing.
The Sporting Jacks Coaches Show presented by Honda The Avenues on 1010XL every Tuesday night at 6. Again, not next week, but thereafter. And we do want to talk about some new signings on the women's team.
Yeah. As
training camp will start the players report on July the 1st, and I think the first practice is like July 5th or 6th, something like that. 2 signings, one out of college and one out of the Gamebridge Super League free agency. Ginger Fontenot, who became a free agent because Spokane ceased operations with their women's team, Spokane Zephyr, and she was terrific for them last year. And an area where I think Stacey Balaam would like to see improved play, she would fit in very well as an attacking wingback kind of player. John Morrissey, who's a great follow on Twitter at USL Tactics on X, pointed out that Fontenot was in the 97th percentile for XG for fullbacks.
Jeez.
For shots, for XA, she was in the 86th percentile, and was also above the median for dribbled past, recoveries, dribbles, and key passes. So this is an attack-minded fullback who really adapts as a wingback on that right side, and I think she's going to be a terrific addition to this squad.
I've seen one clip and I'm fully endorsed.
Penn, by the way, another Ivy Leaguer.
Oh, nice.
Added in, so you know that Paige Kenton will be pleased.
SMRT.
Yes, exactly. And then AJ Hennessy has been added. She's a forward from TCU. 14 goals and 14 assists in 89 matches for TCU. And I'll give you a little bit of insight. Becky Burley did some work with TCU, sort of structural or consulting, and has great things to say about Hennessy. So strong, getting stronger.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm so stoked for both of them. And, really our women team has an exciting preseason and are going to really come at the league, I think.
Good news, bad news on the preseason. There will be no home preseason matches for the women. However, more announcements to come in the near future. Yeah. All right. We have our World Cup
Friday. Actually,
okay.
Yeah.
We won't. You'll stay tuned
tomorrow
to the social media.
Yeah.
I apologize. I did not get all the numbers knocked out on the World Cup contest. However, if we want to just talk briefly about the top teams. Mexico with 3 wins. Tony, you've got Mexico. 9 points for you there. Plus, you get an extra 5 points for a group stage winner. So Mexico has provided you with 14 points, which is the maximum you could get out of a team.
Se puede.
Yes. So right now, I have the United States among others, and 6 points plus 5 for the group win.
Yeah.
So that's 11 for now. So, of course, I want them to get those other 3 points tonight against Turkey.
I wouldn't mind it, yeah.
So we'll see how that all rolls out, and we will total up the numbers. Once the group stage is over, we will have to go through this probably next week at some point while we're not on the pod. Mm-hmm. But just to get everybody an idea, once the group stage is over, we must save a maximum of 4 remaining teams to keep throughout the knockout round. If you don't save a team, it may be claimed by another player for the knockout round. So we'll do this same where you claim it via snake draft kind of thing. And then points to be awarded for knockout round wins. You get 1 point in the round of 32, 3 points in the round of 16, 5 in the quarterfinals, 7 in the semis, and 9 for your champion. So start. Tony's like shaking his head now because too much math.
I'm lost.
But
that's all right.
So what you'll have to do is save 4 teams you think will go the furthest, and you have right now some options.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it today, but France, England,
Mexico,
Colombia, Switzerland, Canada, all could be potential picks. I've got Argentina, Brazil, the United States, the Netherlands.
Dude, we're locked and loaded.
I've got some good options there. Emerson has Spain, Portugal, Germany, Norway. Probably her best picks. Those were her first 4, so she might just stick with those first 4. Although she also has Cape Verde. You never know. You never know. You never know. All right. This is now the time of the podcast.
You should get massive extra points if you pick Cape Verde and they do it. That's just crazy.
Well, you'll get massive props from the podcast if that happens.
Yeah.
Tony, though, if you would, feel free to break format.
Format. Sure. Yeah. So Tuesday, I know you talked about it on one of the shows.
It'll be on the TV show this weekend.
Yeah. So we are doing, we always try to provide free high-level soccer clinics in neighborhoods where it's not. Tuesday, we're doing a clinic with FYSA at the Brentwood Park, which is on the north side. If you go to sportingjacks.com/foundation, there's more information there. That is very limited. We've got a ton of neighborhood kids signed up already, so it may be a demand supply thing, but we're really excited about that. It's the foundation's first joint effort with FYSA, so we're really excited about that. And
Florida Youth Soccer Association for
correct.
those who are unaware.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So very going to be fun. The kids all get T-shirts, and it's going to be a blast. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Go to sportingjacks.com/foundation if you want to register there. It's free, but you do have to register in advance, please. All right. Next week, no podcast. The following week, everybody should be back ready and loaded, and we will have some preseason of interest for the Gamebridge Super League squad, and perhaps some more news on the men's side as well.
Yeah, and I'll bring my notes back because I'm going to Portugal, Colombia on Saturday.
Oh, wonderful.
I know.
Okay. Travel log coming.
Yeah.
All right, for Tony Allegretti and the absent Emerson Burris, I'm Cole Pepper. Thanks so much for listening to The Sporting Pod.